Tonight on CTV News, we cover the kickoff of the ACSU election season and talk to the girls that make up the CSU Women's Club volleyball team.
Then we have coverage of the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Old Town, and then find out where the fee increase funds are going according to the Student Review Board. All this and more on CTV News, starting now. Good evening, CSU. I'm Sydney Paul, and tonight we take a look at new cutting-edge stem cell research being utilized by the Veterinary Center on campus.
We also look into the Murphy Center and how they have a hand in helping the homelessness crisis in Fort Collins. I'm Kara Coles, and let's get started with today's top headlines. Future ACSU leaders will be elected later this semester. The candidates are already gearing up for the campaign season, and CSU students are speaking up about the qualities they want in the people who will represent them in office. CSU student body government, ACSU, announced their Senate and presidential candidates for the 2018 and 19 term. The poll includes a variety of people, including those who have ran for a position in last year's election. Although campaigns have yet to kick off, students are already expressing issues they would like addressed on campus.
Well, I think CSU is a great campus in general, but one of the things I'd like to see improvement is maybe some adjustments on the parking, because a lot of times there's mix-ups or you get a ton of parking tickets for parking at the wrong time.
While some are satisfied with the way things are.
I like to see the same stuff though. I think it's been pretty successful, just a couple changes here and there.
Others want future ACSU leaders to ensure that underrepresented students are comfortable on CSU's campus.
He or she should represent all the students, like those who are coming from around the world, and the students might have problems, they might have problems of adjustment.
And that all marginalized voices are heard.
I would really like to see a group of student leaders that are aware of all of the different perspectives and lived experiences we have within our student body, and actively working to amplify marginalized voices, especially those that have been targeted targeted through the incidences of bias this semester. I'd like to see them given more of a voice in our student government, and I'd like to see some of these issues addressed more critically and thoroughly.
ACSU will hold 2 presidential debates in which candidates can state why they're the better choice for office. The first will be March 21st and the second March 28th. Voting will then open to students on RamWeb starting April 2nd at 4 p.m.
Be able to represent the thoughts and ideas of the students to the governing body, so that the students' thoughts and needs are being met by the university.
CTV will be closely following the ACSU campaigns and debates this election season to bring you the latest updates. Also, for more information and coverage, you can visit thecollegian.com.
A fire sprinkler on the 3rd floor of the Cottonwood buildings in Aggie Village Apartments went off March 2nd, flooding the 3rd floor and caused water damage to multiple floors. 7 residents had to move out of their apartments after the sprinkler caused unlivable damage. According to Mary Strombaum, Interim Executive Director of Housing and Dining Services, the 7 students, who were all from 2 apartments, were relocated or displaced. The anticipated cost for the services and repairs needed as a result of this sprinkler head activation is $30,000, and firefighters are still working to clear water from the rooms on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd floors. No injuries have been reported.
Yesterday, the ACSU held its weekly Student Fee Review Board to listen and discuss funding proposals and future plans, presented by fellow CSU organizations.
Campus Recreation and SLICE attended the Student Fee Review Board to discuss their mandatory budget increase. Director of SLICE, Pamela Norris, discussed the organization's mission to create a culture of involvement and how she plans to do so.
What we found was that every time we added even a student staff member, one more human for people to be able to talk to and ask questions and navigate the university, the more registered student groups we would get.
SLICE proposed an increase of student fees by 50 cents and plans to use their new budget toward increasing employee salaries. With about 50% of students involved in work study, CSU can plan to see student hourly wages increase to $11.10 by next January.
I really do truly believe if we added another full-time staff member, we'd see that number just grow, because it really is just about being available for servicing students.
Campus Recreation will be using their increase of $2.73 for mandatory costs. These costs include providing and updating state-of-the-art equipment and facilities.
That is for mandatory costs only. At the university, we have a fantastic resource with our fields that's called the Greater Green. It's a unique feature at our institution, and quite frankly, it's unique in the fact that most institutions across the country do not have these playing fields right in the middle of campus.
With these budget increases, in the future we can plan to see Slice focusing on improving and promoting their mobile food pantry campaign, while Campus Recreation plans to install LED lights on the fields in an effort to become more efficient and sustainable.
We'll do assessments.
Both proposals were approved, and students can plan to see those changes in the near future.
The Vice President for Research Challenge, where graduate students present their research in 3 minutes for the chance to win scholarship money and a place in the VPR Fellowship. Cody Carell, a second-year chemistry graduate student, was among the 16 chosen fellowship recipients. Carell's participation in the competition preceded his previous work in the Graduate Showcase, a poster presentation for graduate students. Upon accepting the invitation, Carell had 2 months to prepare his research for the competition. The research Carell presented on is known as 3D printed rotational manifold for point-of-care salmonella detection. This research is one of the cheapest and most efficient ways to rapidly treat hospital patients.
The Fort Collins City Council recently voted against funding lockers for the homeless at the Fort Collins Mennonite Fellowship Church, prompting the church to fundraise on GoFundMe instead. But the city still faced backlash from local activist groups for an ordinance that would have prohibited lying and sitting on public spaces such as sidewalks, benches, and plazas. Sister Mary Alice Murphy Center for Hope, a new local organization, is now aimed to help the homeless population. The Murphy Center, as it is commonly referred to, provides at least 10 core services. The center provides male laundry units and showers, a food pantry, and a gear closet from which homeless visitors can acquire supplies and free breakfast. Murphy Center Director Tom Austin says social isolation often preludes homelessness and noted there's a stigma surrounding those who are homeless. Austin also added that solving homelessness should involve focusing on social rehabilitation.
CSU's vet school is doing cutting-edge research on stem cell therapy from both domesticated and exotic animals that could potentially influence human medicine in the future.
Colorado State University's vet hospital is known for their innovative programs and research, and they have now turned their attention to a wide variety of stem cell research.
So the big programs we have right now are we're looking at using stem cells to treat chronic wound infections, and we're also using stem cells to treat chronic osteoarthritis, which is very common in dogs and cats as they get older, much as it is in people, and also very common in older animals in zoos and wildlife sanctuaries.
The vet school has multiple studies in the works, most of them related to osteoarthritis. Multiple veterinarians are helping with clinical trials in pets that could shape the future of stem cell research, both in animals and humans.
When we look at stem cell research in dogs, one of the great things with that is that if we show that this works in dogs, it is something that then can actually help people as well. That's really another aspect of that. Not only with those clinical trials are we helping individual dogs, but we're also helping to advance human medicine down the road, hopefully.
CSU's work with stem cells in exotic animals is getting the most national attention. One of Dr. Valerie Johnson's first exotic assignments was to help giraffes with arthritis at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo.
So a couple of giraffes in particular were really having a hard time, and even the medications they were giving weren't really working. So we talked about using stem cells in that giraffe. We grew up a bunch of different giraffe cell lines from blood and used some to treat that elephant and also to characterize them and make sure they behaved in the way that normal stem cells behave in.
Dr. Johnson is also the first person to attempt to use stem cells to treat arthritis in polar bears, which she did for Boris, a bear at the Point Defiance Zoo.
I think the most exciting part was just being able to get up close to these amazing animals, because I never really have done that before. I've never really been on hugging terms with a polar bear until now, and Boris was just a gorgeous, amazing creature. And so it has been so exciting for me to be able to work closely with these animals and also be able to help these animals that I feel like, you know, we have put them in this position and they deserve our help.
CSU pre-vet student Misha Harrison was able to work closely with Dr. Johnson on her exotic stem cell research, and she had the unique opportunity to travel to Washington to help with Boris's treatment.
It's really humbling working in such an awesome environment with so many brilliant people, and I think that I got really lucky to land a job like this.
According to CSU public relations officials, multiple veterinarians are partnering with the Anschutz Medical Campus in Denver to translate their research into human medicine moving forward.
Wow, all of that sounds like it was so interesting to learn about.
It was super exciting. I was pretty disappointed I didn't get to meet Boris in person, though.
Well, fingers crossed that he comes next time.
Let's hope so.
Thank you again for joining us tonight. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at CTV11. Up next, we have Edgar Cedillo with weather to let us know if a snowstorm is in the near forecast. Don't go anywhere.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back from break, Rams. Hope you all had a good spring break and a good start off to your week. It is the first day of spring, in fact. Looking at current temperatures right now, 48 degrees in Fort Collins. It's still pretty breezy out there with winds 10 miles out of the northwest. Your sunset is here at 7:12, so it's either just coming up soon. Looking at tonight's lows across the state, we have 28 degrees in Fort Collins, 29 degrees down in Colorado Springs. As you go down south towards Pueblo, looking at a temperature 24. Lamar, we're looking at 25. Cooling down as you go towards Lyman at 19, 18 in Gunnison. Cool spot looks to be out in Alamosa. And then warming up again as you go towards Grand Junction at 33 degrees. Looking at tomorrow's forecast, we have 60 degrees tomorrow afternoon as your high. 34 is your morning low. It still will be pretty breezy out there, so we'll watch out for winds out of southeast at 10 to 15 miles. Sunset keeps getting later and later as we head towards summer, so that sunset will be at 7:13. Looking at your hourly forecast for tomorrow, we have temperatures at 31 degrees at 8 a.m. with partly cloudy conditions, warming up rapidly at 48 around 11 a.m. Peaking around 2 p.m. We have temperatures at 58 and then warming up just slightly at 5 right before sunset at 59 and then cooling down to 49 at 9 with cloudy conditions. Looking at highs across the state, 60 degrees in Fort Collins tomorrow, warming down as you head down towards Denver at 63. Colorado Springs looks to be at 57. Warm spot looks to be down southeast in Pueblo, 64 and 68 in Lamar. Out west, 50 in Vail, 54 in Gunnison, and 53 in Telluride. So it's still pretty warm out there in the mountains, even for this time of year. And looking at your 5-day forecast, like I said, 60 degrees tomorrow in Fort Collins, warming up nicely. Thursday, 69. Warm spot looks to be Friday at 73 with the low of 38. So great start to your weekend. Saturday, cooling down just slightly at 66, and Sunday it looks to be at 52 with partly cloudy conditions. So that's all I have for weather. Stay tuned with sports with Tara.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to...
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back from spring break, Ram fans. I'm sports anchor Tara Barr, here to catch you up on all the latest sports news from over break. As of yesterday, the CSU football team kicked off their first practice under the lights, led by head coach Mike Bobo. The Rams have been putting in work during the offseason and were finally given the opportunity to transition all their hard work onto the field. Mike Bobo addressed the news changes from this upcoming season. I do not ever go into a year thinking we are going to rebuild or to win it all. It is focusing on today and trying to get better today. I think our goals have not changed. Our goal is to compete for our conference championship and to win conference championship and to win our rivalry games. But something I would bring up with our team today, it is about a new year, and the most important thing is to focus on today. Spring will give the 5 new coaches on defense and the new defensive line coach Gilmore and special teams coordinator Chase Gibson the opportunity to implement their coaching tactics and allow the players to get comfortable with the new changes. Mustafa Hassan has done it again for the CSU Rams and has been awarded the Mountain West Men's Student Athlete of the Year for the 2nd consecutive indoor track and field season. Hassan is the 3rd repeat winner of the conference annual men's indoor honor, joining Lee Emanuel and Luke Caldwell from the University of New Mexico. Hassan is also the 5th to earn the annual honor back-to-back seasons between both men and women's indoor track and field. In addition to his 2 annual indoor conference honors, Hassan was also named Mountain West Outdoors Track and Field Men's Co-Student Athlete of the Year in 2016. Hassan led Colorado State men's track and field to a 16th place NCAA finish this season, giving the program's 2nd highest indoor finish in school history. Hassan also won the individual NCAA title in shot put for the 2nd consecutive season, becoming the 1st repeat NCAA champion in a throwing event in Mountain West indoor and track field history. Congratulations to senior Mustafa Hassan. The Colorado State track and field begins its outside season this Saturday at Mines Nature's Bakery Invite. The meet will be hosted by Colorado State of Mines in Golden, Colorado. Right before spring break, I got the chance to meet our CSU club volleyball team and see what they're all about.
The CSU club volleyball team here at CSU is a student-run organization. The team has been nationally ranked for the past 2 years and continues to improve every single year. Here is what President Sierra Kerrigan has to say about the program.
So it's a student-run organization, and it's been going on for years before I was here. But basically the way this works is organizations have to get signed up for sports. It's through club sports and then also through Slice. And for us, we also have like a national volleyball federation. So there's this whole process of just like getting organized through those like different levels, I guess. And then a lot of it goes into like recruiting students and getting the message out there.
Being that the program is a student-run organization, I asked President Sierra Kerrigan what being captain meant to her and how serious she takes her position.
Pretty seriously. I would say pretty much any aspect of leadership that you can imagine comes into this just like duty, I guess. There's a lot of just like knowing how to like work with people and like balance people's like emotions and what works best for a large group. Also being able to just give directions. Organizing practice is huge. Organizing travel just requires a lot of like leadership skills in terms of organization. So really all across the board, anything involved with leadership comes into this position.
The team being nationally ranked, I got the opportunity to ask junior player Maggie Kelly how competitive the team is.
Yeah, our club team has been around, as far as I know, for a few years now. We've always placed top 10 at nationals. We're in the highest division in the open division, so it's a lot of fun. We get to see teams from all over the country.
Many of the women had years of experience before coming and playing at CSU, as well as Kelly, who discussed how long she has played before college and how long she has played here at CSU.
I've been playing volleyball since I was in 5th grade, and I've been playing club volleyball here at CSU since I was a freshman.
The club volleyball team has been consistently ranked as number 1 and number 2 in all regional tournaments. Last team, the team competed with only 7 players and placed 9th at last year's nationals. This year, the team will be competing with 9 players, so they have high hopes for this year's upcoming national tournament.
If you are interested in learning more about the CSU Club volleyball team, you can head over to the rec on March 31st, where they will be playing in an all-day tournament. This past Saturday, the women's softball team went 1-1 against the Mountain Conference West Nevada Wolfpack in two hard-fought games. In Game 1, both teams struggled to get runners in scoring position in the first 3 innings until the Rams' Karina Gamboa hit an RBI double to send Haley Donaldson right on home and scoring the first run for the Rams. Hannah McCall laid down a suicide squeeze to score the second run of the inning to give the CSU to a 2-0 lead over Nevada. Unfortunately for the Rams, Nevada stepped their game up in the 5th inning and came back to win the game 4-2. In Game 2, the Rams with another walk-off run. Junior Amber Nelson sealed the win for the Rams in the bottom of the 7th, launching a 2-run shot to left field to win the game series. The Rams will continue Mountain West play at Fresno State for a 3-game series starting this Friday. This past Sunday, the CSU men's club lacrosse team took on ASU. The Rams fell short, losing 17-9 in their first half. In the first half, the Rams battled hard, keeping a close score 6-4, but couldn't keep that hold on the second, with the ASU scoring 11 goals in the second. CSU AJ Stewart had 5 of the 9 goals that were scored for the Rams and 2 assists. The men's lacrosse team plays this Thursday under the lights here on the intramural fields at 6 p.m. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. For sport updates throughout the week, make sure to follow the CTV 11 YouTube page. But don't go just yet. Next up, we have Litos Castro to brighten up your night with all the entertainment you could ask for.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Back Rams, I hope all of you had a wonderful spring break and are ready to be back here on campus. So let's dive into some entertainment news. If you feel like you didn't have enough fun during spring break, don't worry. Crossword Safe House is holding its inaugural Casino Night fundraiser this Friday. If you are at least 21 years old, you can head out to this event for a night of gaming and fun. All attendees will get 2 drink tickets, $200 in casino play, and even have the chance to participate in a silent auction. Tickets to this event cost $60 and doors will be opening at 6 p.m. All proceeds from the fundraiser will support victims of domestic violence and their children. Plus, I hear there will be a live DJ at the event, so even in the event that you lose everything, it will still be a party. However, if the casino scene isn't for you, then maybe you'll be interested in a special concert that's being put on at the UCA building here on campus. The performance will be by the Borromeo String Quartet and will be joined by organ professor Dr. Joel Bacon. Now, with the last name of Bacon, you can basically guarantee that the show is going to be a good one. The concert celebrates the 50th anniversary of Colorado State University's renowned Casavant organ. Tickets are $10 $10 a student, and the concert will begin at 7:30 p.m. Okay, I feel it's time to clear this up for everyone. I am Irish. I'm just kidding, but that's surely the way I was feeling this past Saturday as Fort Collins celebrated St. Patrick's Day.
This past Saturday, Fort Collins took part in celebrating the famous holiday of St. Patrick's Day. To celebrate, Fort Collins hosted a parade that toured through all the streets of Old Town. People of all ages were able to come out and enjoy the fun that was to be had. And one local resident reminded us that the colors of St. Patrick's Day and CSU go pretty well together.
It fits in perfectly with CSU because of the green and gold. So I feel like it is even more quintessential and perfect and traditional in Fort Collins.
The parade lasted for just a couple of hours. However, it wasn't the only fun event planned for the day.
And even though the parade has come to an end, it's clear that the party here in Fort Collins is just getting started.
After the parade, large groups of people gathered together in Old Town to celebrate. It was clear that everyone was ready to have a good time. One CSU friend lets us know what you missed out on if you couldn't make it out this year.
This is the most fun day of the year, and if you are able next year, come stay in town, hang out for St. Patrick's Day, and come hang out with all the fun people downtown.
If you missed out on the celebration, don't worry, because the party will be brought back next year where everyone can embrace their Irish spirit. There's been lots of popular movies coming out lately: Jumanji, Black Panther, Coco, The Greatest Showman, and many more. This weekend, we have what is likely to be the biggest action movie until the new Avengers comes out. Pacific Rim Uprising is the new movie coming out this weekend. If you don't know what this movie is, I've got a quick rundown for you. John Boyega stars as Jake Pentecost, a new leader in the fight against the monsters known as the Kaiju. Now, if you're wondering if the movie will have a better story than the last one, does it really matter? I mean, you have giant robots fighting giant monsters. What more could you really want? The movie releases this Friday, March 23rd, and I don't have anybody to go with again, so look for me if you head out to see it. Well, Rams, that's all the entertainment I have for you. Don't forget to tune in right back here at CTV tomorrow at 7. Have a great night, Rams.